Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we are looking at the Fire Dance oil lamp stove. This is actually purchased off of Amazon. I've seen one of these and someone was reviewing it and they were doing it outside. Now this is for indoor. So I have yet to fire it up. Kind of some of the things that I've kind of noticed here in playing with this so far. Now, like I said, I have not fired this up as of yet. Kind of looking at it, we do have a nice reservoir down here. There seems to be quite a bit of oil capacity in there. The one thing I will say is trying to get the oil in here, you're going to need a very small kind of funnel in order to get the oil in there. As my kitty cat is trying to get into the frame again. So the nice thing is we do have a nice big wick in here. So this is like a 3-inch wick or so. And on top it does have a spot here so we can put a pan. Now we got this one on clearance over at Walmart. Wife was kind of laughing at me because I mean here I'm getting a little pot. What she doesn't realize is, you know, we're doing a kind of lights out kind of deal tonight. We're just going to do a little practice run in our own home, which isn't a big deal for us because we've kind of done this in the past, and just trying out a couple different things. So trying to see exactly, you know, how good our lamps are doing, stuff like that. I do have one sheet that I'm going to try and put up here. I think I'm able to put it up on YouTube. So look in the comments area or whatever, and hopefully we can have that put up here. Hopefully I'll have it as a PDF or maybe even just a picture or whatever. And, you know, it's 2 scenarios for like flooding or whatever, just kind of basic scenarios. I'm going to work on different things as we go along here, but just kind of wanted to show you what we have here. I'm going to do some experiments. So this is going to be kind of edited and put together and all that as I go through this. This isn't a one-shot deal. But what we do have is, you know, we're going to get some water boiling here later on tonight. And, you know, throughout all this, I'm going to, you know, get videos recording some of this, and we will talk about the good, the bad, and the indifferent on this. And I haven't had one of these in quite a while, and these are $10 for anyone doing camping or whatever. I mean, I had one of these when I was in Boy Scouts years and years ago. It's just a cup inside here. We have a little pot and a pan, a nice little mess kit, something for cooking. I don't know how good this is going to be for cooking. I do want to try it and see exactly how well it works, because we do have the cooktop on here. As long as the kitty cat stays away, which, you know, she's dealing with her little issue. She just wants affection and attention, so she's in everything. Now, looking at this, because this does open up, we do have tabs on the side here. Trying to do this at the same time as... All right. So, you know, this is our cooking griddle, and it gives a little bit of ventilation in here for cooking on top. So as we look at this, and this does open up on the side. Now, there's a case that you can buy for this. I did not buy the case, so I'm being honest here. I didn't buy the case. I did put oil in there. This looks like we do have oil in here. Looks like it's ready to go. I'm going to get this fired up here now. The only oil I really had that was, there we go, that looked like it would have been kind of halfway decent for this. For trying to fill it, because that's where my big problems are, and I'm leaving it kind of here on my stove, because if I really need to, I know I'm trying to do this. You know, the nice thing about practicing is, you know, if things don't work out, I can turn the fan on. Right now I got the overhead light on here, getting us a little extra light, but, you know, doing little dry runs on, you know, like a power out scenario or whatever. If things don't work out, you know, you can always just turn the power back on. Compared to if power does go out, we're out of power. So, you know, we're just kind of dead in the water. But, you know, just kind of running a little scenario like that. I do get quite a bit of heat off of this. Now, I don't know how well this is going to be for boiling water or anything else. I do feel quite a bit of warmth coming off of here. Part of the other thought I had is maybe if I was being really gutsy, like a heater for a tent or whatever. Maybe we could have a board down or whatever, we could heat in a tent. I think this would definitely give off some good heat. I don't know how much of an oil smell that we're going to get because, if I'm running a lantern like this, an oil lantern, after a while I do smell that oil. And here it can vent up and it can go through the exhaust fan. So, just kind of going through there. So, this is just the first step. We'll see how this goes. I will kind of boil some water. I've got something I plan on cooking here tonight, and we're going to try and cook that a little bit on here, and then, we'll kind of mash all this together and see how things go. But in the process, we're going to have some fun doing this. And that's the other thing about doing like little practice run nights or whatever. Kind of going through things. And I know that my wife has done it with the kids before, having a night out without power. Getting the kids to decompress, kind of helps out a little bit here and there. But like I said, you get to try different things. You get to experiment on things where it's a little bit more controlled. You have access to everything you would normally have. So hopefully, if any scenario that I come up with or whatever does truly happen, hopefully we have things in place. So we'll kind of pause from here. I'm going to get some water going in here, and then we will see how this goes for boiling, how long it really kind of takes for this, and go from there. So, all right. Nope. All right. So this little heater here, it is good enough to boil water. I've got steam coming out of the pot. So we got nice warm water here boiling. So all I have to do now is wait for my wife to come back. I can get her some hot chocolate, hopefully enough for two, for her and my daughter, and we'll go from there. But the fact that this little heater, and this is about the height of the flame that we've been going with, it's enough to boil water, and you can kind of hear it a little bit. I'm kind of cheating. I do have an air fryer going for cooking some burgers because I didn't want to cause I'll try one burger on here, but I'm trying to cook for everybody. Like I said, beautiful thing about a practice night. You can say, hey, we can do this or that or whatever else. And of course, I got the fireplace that if we really needed to, we could cook on that too. But, it's just the whole thing. Try different things. We have new gadgets to try for different situations. Here we go. But it is enough to get the water to boil. Now, it's been going for a little bit to get the water to this point, but we do have boiling water. So, here we are. All right, so here we are cooking the burger. We're still going off of the same cooker. It's kind of just cooking in a pan. It's kind of boiling in its own fat. So I guess I'll see exactly how good or bad this is. It's been on here for, I'd say, maybe about 7 minutes at this point. It's kind of slowly cooking, which really isn't all that bad in some regards. And get this flipped over, I think, and then probably cook it on the other side. It's a different way of cooking, though. But it is very possible. It's just going to take a lot longer, which is one of the complaints I had kind of heard. And honestly, now I don't know if it's because of where I'm sitting. I don't have a huge amount of oil smell. Of course, this is rubbing alcohol. So maybe that makes a little bit of a difference. And like I said, I'm doing this on my stove, as you can tell, and it's, I've got the exhaust fan here, so it's not running, but that flue still goes out through the roof. So this might be helping to keep the smell down. So we're good so far. It's not getting overly obnoxious or anything else, but I did want to kind of show you as we're trying to cook it. It's an experimental night, just a fun night doing this. So then we'll keep going. All right, so this is our burger actually cooked on that little stove. It's got a little bit of crunchiness. It looks like it's cooked all the way through. To be honest, I can't see exactly how long it's been in there for, but it has been in there for a little bit of time, just kind of slowly cooking away, which is perfectly fine. It's going to be fun trying to clean this because now I'm going to have all the other stuff in there. So I'm moving the camera around. But yeah, I think that this is going to work out fairly well. You know, it's nice because yes, it's giving off heat. We can cook on it. I mean, we have a hamburger. If you're cooking some other stuff, I mean, we've boiled water. We cooked a hamburger. We'll see how much heat and all that. And I don't have any oil smell as of yet. So this has been running for probably an hour or so. I can't smell anything. So I think we're doing good so far. There again, with the vent right above it, that's probably helping a lot too. So if you're using this in the house, it may not be too bad by itself. Now, if, though the concerns are with carbon monoxide and everything else, you should have a detector and all that, trying to make sure that you don't, essentially poison yourself while you're trying to stay warm. Exactly how warm that's going to keep everything, I really can't say for sure, but, if for nothing else, we can establish that we can boil water and we can actually cook a hamburger if you have some other meat on there. I think somebody else had a steak on there that I had seen, and it did cook the steak pretty good. So smaller foods. Obviously, I've got a small mess kit, which is a little bit more ideal for this. So whatever we do, I think would be better off with this. But it's a way to test things out. So far, I would say that that little stove is actually worth it. I think I got the cheaper of the two because of the finish, and I really do like it. It seems like it's doing pretty good. We'll do some trial runs and all that stuff. I think the interesting thing is now I've got extra wicks already ordered. I've got some already in. If you use it a lot or you intend to use it a lot, I think having extra wicks are going to be important. As of which, that's one of the things with dealing with candles. You got to make sure you have enough candles. If you're dealing with um, oil lanterns and that, you got to make sure you have spare wicks and all that stuff handy. But yeah, so far it seems like it's doing pretty good. I probably will do about one more update on this just to see if I smell anything odd or whatever else, so that way we have that there. But otherwise, so far so good. All right. So I did want to give a last final update on doing our kind of lantern stove here. Um, you know, I didn't have the smell of oil or anything, and I lighted a little lantern later on because we're doing our little kind of powerless night tonight. Um, and of course, I'm cheating by getting this up here, but it's just some of those things, right? Uh, but now I can smell the oil from the lantern as I'm using the lantern, but I will admit, because I'm using that for light, I have the wick up a little bit more, so I think I'm drawing a little bit more oil out of that. If you're just using the Thousand Winds camping oil lantern just for like cooking and that, I don't think you're going to have too much of a problem. It will take longer to cook, but it's still something that's viable. It's something portable, something you can take with you, which is what I was kind of looking for, in case we wanted to take it camping or something happened that we had to go. I have something I can kind of cook with. Sterno is wonderful. Uh, we haven't really tried sterno, and it's just some of those things. Trying things that my family has not tried because I remember camping in Boy Scouts and some of the different things that we had done back then that was available to us, that my family really has not done. So, the Thousand Winds really does seem to work fairly well for cooking, and it does give off some heat. Like I said, for where it's sitting right there at the stove, because I do have the flue going straight outside. Once it kind of shut off on its own because I didn't have the wick up very far, I could feel it being a little cooler there. Um, so, you know, just being honest, how much that would warm up in a big area. That's why typically if you're bugging in and you're really cold, they always say try to get a microclimate going. Just limit to one room or whatever, which we're not doing. Um, and we have plenty of blankets. My wife loves having extra blankets, so staying warm, we can always just pile on some blankets and that on us. But all in all, I will say the stove did work pretty good. I don't have a big amount of uh, oil smell or anything coming from it the way I was using it, and I'm pretty happy with it. If it is something that's a thought for you or whatever, I would say give it a shot. Like I said, this is like 160 $170. These aren't cheap, so it is a bit of an investment, and it was even for me. I mean, I think it's going to be an investment for everyone. But it's just one of those things. If I'm able to look at it, try it out, give it a little test, which is what I wanted to do here tonight, and then I know that we're going to try it on some other nights. Just going through stuff like this is really the opportunities and the trials that we've always kind of prepared for. So doing a night like tonight is not a big deal. Um, so sitting there watching TV, I just stuff on my phone. I have portable chargers so I can charge my phone up, um, and they're solar, so I can throw it out in the sun, let it charge up. I put Legos together instead of watching as many a TV show or something, which I just haven't had the time to do because I'm busy with everything else. So it just means that we just go a little less tech and a little bit more just having fun. With that, hope you enjoyed the video. It's fun bringing this to you as we get more experiences and more things to throw out to give you ideas, the goods, the bads, the whatevers. Hopefully, you find it useful, and that's what it's here for. I do have that link I'll be trying to put up here as you see this today on Saturday. I'll try and get this link up, uh, just of some flooding. Um, Take a look at it. Let me know what you guys think. If you think I need to go in some different directions, I do have some other ideas for different things to go with. Um, the first one is going to be a flooding scenario, which is pretty serious stuff for a lot of people. It also depends on where you are. That's kind of the harder things on something like that because now the next one after that will be like a snowstorm, and it's funny because we're originally they were talking about 6 inches of snow, which isn't too bad, um, but now it looks like it's going to be 1 to 3 inches of snow, minor snow for us for the most part, but especially in the spring and fall. Snow falls, especially where you get ice on the trees and it can knock over and knock out power lines, which does happen from time to time. And usually you get power in a couple hours. But what happens when it becomes a major snowstorm? These are the scenarios I'm hoping to come up with and post out so that way, if you find them useful and you want to use them for kind of doing a doomsday prepper kind of LARPing, you're kind of going through the motions of what you're going to need and just testing your gear or at least some of your gear. Uh, that way you can see if things work, they don't work, whatever. You know, for us to do this, the wife is actually kind of happy. She looks at it as being a little house on the prairie. So she's done this with the kids in the past, and it's not a big deal for us because this is really the thing I've been more concerned about because we've lost power, for like an hour or two here and there, about twice a year. But one doesn't really know what the future holds for us. So with that, thanks for visiting. We'll see you in the next video.